What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Silver Saloon. I'm back at it, the Silver Stallion. Thank you guys for clicking on the video today. So today I got a nice little setup for you guys. You're probably not going to see this really too much in the future. This is really just to prove a point. This video is really going to be about 3 tips that I have for new stackers or just stackers in general, things that I've learned in my very short time stacking. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and get into this list because I think a lot of these are important and they could relate to a lot of people. So as you can see, my stack has grown substantially, and there's a couple reasons for that for my last video. So I was uploading videos to YouTube with the intent to eventually upload them. I wasn't sure when I was going to do it, how I wanted to do it, or if I was even going to do it at all. I was just kind of like, I'm just going to have them chilling there on YouTube, but I'm not going to post them. So you'll see my stack has grown substantially, which brings me to rule number 1, or lesson number 1. Do not stack on FOMO, fear of missing out, like I did. So I basically, purchased some gold at an all-time high because of fear of missing out and because of things that I was seeing on YouTube. A bunch of silver, like a buttload of silver, more than I probably should have spent. Because you're seeing a lot of these things online where it says World War III is coming, or 500% increase coming soon, or it'll happen overnight. And you know what? I fell for it. I fell for it. And now in hindsight, I wish I didn't. The way I wish I would have done it was just kind of pace myself, because the way I did it, I'm probably going to be out of the game when it comes to purchasing for a while, at least for a few months. Whereas I could have just paced myself and been, buying things every few weeks or every month or so. And it would have been a lot more fun that way, because it would have been a lot more exciting. I could, have new packages coming in every 2 weeks, bi-weekly, things like that. So that's one thing that I'm going to say, try to stay away from, is FOMO. You're going to see a lot of that stuff out there, guys, especially if you're following YouTube content. And the sad truth is, a lot of those people you'll find out are sponsored, which is probably why they do it. I would love to, have one of those people bet me, when they put stuff like that, like 500% increase, it'll happen overnight. I would love to just be like, hey, I'll bet you a 10 ounce of silver, or I'll bet you an ounce of gold that it won't, and see how confident they are at that point. Again, a lot of them do it because they're sponsored. That's how they clickbait. So just stay away from that. So that's, lesson number 1. Lesson number 2 is websites and apps. So there's a certain app, I don't know if I'm gonna mention the name or not, but there's a lot of apps out there, auction apps and things like that, which are very fun and very addicting. So if you have an addictive personality, stay away from those. And honestly, they don't have any kind of customer service of any kind. I'm gonna tell you guys a quick story about what happened to me. So I had ordered or purchased something on one of these apps, and I ended up getting the wrong item. And so they ended up writing me saying, hey, there's one of 2 things we could do for you. 1 is you could send it back and we could give you a full refund, or 2, we could give you 25% off, which would be $88 off the order. I said, perfect, that actually works, because it was Father's Day weekend. And so my father, saw some of the things I was doing, saw some of my collection, and he was kind of into it. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give this to my dad. It's a nice, expensive, coin. I'm just gonna go ahead and give it to him for Father's Day. So I told him, I'll accept the 25%. Went ahead and gifted this to my father for Father's Day. And then a couple days later, they messaged me and say, oh, you know what? We're sorry, our mistake. You actually don't qualify for the 25% off. And I said, well, you guys sent me the wrong item, first of all. Then you already told me I was going to get a discount. Like, I gifted this to my father. And then they said, oh, we're so sorry. We're going to see what we could do for you. Being that it's a Father's Day gift, let us see what we could do. We're going to work something out. So then they come back and they say, hey, you know what? We reached out to the seller, and because the seller never responded, there's really nothing we could do. You're going to have to return the item. And so I reached out to the seller and I said, hey, man, what's going on? They said they were going to give me a discount. They tried to reach out to you, and, you didn't even reply. And now I'm not going to qualify for this discount. And so the seller starts sending me screenshots of his emails and, how he was communicating to them. He says, they never mentioned a discount to me, not even once, only the refund. So it was like a 30-page email, back and forth. And at the end of the day, I had to return it. You know, I was super salty because, like I said, I gifted it to my father for Father's Day, and I had to take it back from him after they already told me I could gift it. So, again, just be careful on these websites and these apps because they have terrible customer service. And at the end of the day, as they proved, they don't care about you. You know, it's a business. Let's see. What was the other thing I wanted to talk about? Oh, on these apps, right? So another mistake that I made, which, you know, in hindsight, I was just having fun and, you know, buying things, auctioning things, and not paying attention to how many times I was paying for a delivery fee. And, you know, once you calculate the delivery fee with what you purchased, you end up either paying more than what you should, or even sometimes a lot more than what you should, because you know I did order after order on different site, another different site, and this was day after day after day, and I just didn't even realize or calculate how much I was spending on delivery charges. So that's another thing that you really want to be conscious of and, you know, strategic about is, you know, how much you're spending on delivery fees, because at the end of the day, you know, ounce is an ounce, and that all adds up. You know, I probably could have got a couple more ounces for what I was spending. And then the third thing, which I'm still kind of on the fence about, but I'm thinking I'm opening up a little bit more to it, because you know you see a lot of YouTubers, a lot of people out there say, you know, be careful who you tell about this and be careful about this and that, because you never know who's watching, which I do agree with 110%. I'm a very cautious person, very aware of my surroundings. Um, and so I do kind of agree with that, but at the same time, my third mistake I feel like was not making friends in the industry, or you know, maybe not sharing it with a couple of people, because you know, being that this is a hobby that I do it every day, I always say it would be great to, you know, share this experience or share this knowledge, or you know, ask questions to people who are also into this. And so the only reason I kind of changed my mind is because I have a everyday carry, I guess, coin, silver coin that I like to carry in my pocket, because it just helps motivate me through the day and through work, you know, just to kind of be like, hey, this is what you're working for, this is what you're working towards, you know, let's go ahead and get it. And so I keep it in my pocket, and I'll hold on to it sometimes in my hand when I need to feel motivated. And one day I thought I lost it, which I just ended up finding it, of course, in my house. But I thought I lost it, and so I went into work and I told my boss, I'm like, hey, did you guys happen to see a coin here and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, no, we didn't see anything. But he ended up saying, he's like, oh, I didn't know you were into coins. And I'm like, yeah, you know, I just actually came from a coin show and I'm in a coin club and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, you know, that's cool. I'm going to bring some of my coins tomorrow. And it turns out that he was a teller at a bank, and he would just, whenever he would see a cool coin, he would just throw it into his stash or his pocket. I don't know how he collected them, but he ended up bringing the next day a booklet with coins all in the sleeves, and some dollar bills, some rare dollar bills, bills from other countries. And I just thought it was the coolest thing. I'm like, wow, you know, I've yet to meet anyone who's into this, you know, like me, or into it at all, really. So I thought that was really cool. And then, you know, when I see a lot of these YouTube channels, I drop in, I start talking to a lot of people, and the community is just amazing. I mean, everyone is super friendly, everyone is super knowledgeable, everyone is willing to talk to you, willing to help you. So, you know, that's just something, you know, I wish, another third lesson, that I wish I would have talked to more people about it in the beginning. But of course, be careful who you talk to. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I got for you guys today. Again, thank you guys for stopping in to the Silver Saloon. I'm Silver Stallion. If you guys like the channel, please like and subscribe, share with your friends and family. If you agree, if you disagree, either way, let me know. Thanks.